Hey guys, how we doing today?
Afternoon, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin?
All right. Fun fact: I was rewatching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood the other day. Oleg shows up in that movie.
Yeah, I did not catch that. I did not clock that at all.
Seen it a bunch of times, even when we were watching the show. But yeah, for some reason, last time I was watching it, and he is in the house with Sharon Tate and Abigail Folger. He is the Polish man rolling a joint. So that's Oleg's brief appearance.
We saw him a couple of times in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Obviously, we'd never noticed he had to have been a giant because Oleg is not a small man.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I guess we mostly saw him laying around on the couch.
He's like 6'4".
Yeah, right. He's physically imposing on the show. They
staged and blocked him very well.
Right.
But speaking of Oleg, apparently he is going home now. Back to Russia.
I don't know if we're going to have a time jump here or what the time jump's going to be. We did kind of wrap up storylines in the last episode.
For sure.
It could pick right up where we left off. It could be time away. As a lot of people have told us on Patreon, season 5 and 6 are kind of one story that kind of gets wrapped in together. So I think we're kind of kicking off something relatively new, at least, if not right now, at least soon.
Beginning of the end.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And also Philip's son, Misha, is on his way
to the States. I doubt we see him for a while because he doesn't know anything except dad's a travel agent in America.
We talked about that in the last episode, how it's probably going to be one of the season 6 things.
Yeah, that's going to be a while. It's going to be, like so many other things, a large complicating factor here.
Yeah.
Also, the Pastor Tim and his wife now knowing about the FBI agent living next door.
For sure.
It could also be a complicating factor.
One more thing, Paige and Matthew.
Who are, I'm assuming, going to still keep dating because I don't know what the success rate of a dad saying don't see him anymore is, but I bet it's pretty low.
Forbidden love.
All right, we're going to go jump into it here. Do you want to go ahead and thank our Patreon subscribers for being here with us? And a special shout out to Actuarial Lurker, Balas Foldes, Chris, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Surya Gundavarapu, Weird Magic, and Torgear Lingstad. Thank you so much, guys. We're really happy you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you might hit the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Every single show, including The Americans, we're at least 4 episodes out on Patreon of where we're on YouTube. So by the time you're watching this, we'll be well into season 5, and we will have started The Wire.
Yeah.
Trying to wrap up Mad Men. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You will only see us for copyright purposes. We're also watching 30 Rock. Currently is a Patreon exclusive.
Yes.
I think this is what year we're at now, too.
Because they kind of do brief time jumps, right? With each
season. We've had time jumps.
They pull a Mad Men where it's like a year.
Yeah.
Between each season.
Have you seen this kid before?
No, never.
I don't recognize him from the show.
I like the set.
Oh, yeah.
Super 80s.
Very. This show's always so well costumed, too.
Yeah.
How's the English coming?
Okay, understand. Speak not so good.
Yeah, it's hard.
Is his dad the resident chura that's leaving?
Not sure. Unless it's a new resident chura.
Right.
Hi, honey. Who's your friend?
This is Pasha.
What?
What's happening?
Yeah, what is going on?
I'm very confused right now.
Yeah, me too. What?
Unless they're on an assignment right now, and they're working that kid.
I got you. The kid is just like a fake kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the target.
Unless they did get out of Dodge, and now they just have. Well, that doesn't make any sense because then Paige and Henry would be there too.
Right. Like Reagan's Morning in America ad. Oh, spy satellites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very different.
This is stylistically so different. An American spy satellite spying on the Soviet Union. Yeah. Ooh, big difference.
Yeah, big contrast. Yikes.
We're seeing the end of the Soviet Union here, aren't we?
So I wonder if we did get the time jump.
Food lines, yeah. Toilet paper lines.
Yeah. Oh, gross. That hurts your heart a lot. That's really sad.
Yes, your society is crumbling. So this has to be later in the 80s then, right? You would think?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering if we did get a bit of a time jump there. I wonder if the Devo song in the beginning was supposed to be an indicator of that, because I'm not sure when that's...
I don't know that particular Devo song for sure.
I'm waiting for somebody to come and be like, it's 1987.
Yeah, someone give me a date. Boy, that Chernobyl thing 2 years ago, huh?
Right, yeah.
Oleg Burov got on a plane to Moscow last night.
So it can't be that far.
No.
They'd have to put a hell of a lot of pieces together to tie William Crandall to Oleg talking to you, especially this fast.
He's just going home.
Yeah.
He took a big risk for his conscience. That's his choice.
Stan feels bad now, doesn't he?
Hey, get yourself a good squad. Get yourself a team.
This is the A-team?
The kids at school like it. I have to keep up.
Watch the A-team.
I was over at Pasha's again yesterday. The same car was out there.
Yeah, they're working that kid. The house.
I'm telling you, he's not doing good. Hates it here more than me. His English sucks. He can barely talk to anyone at school. I can get you in there pretty easy.
Yeah, for sure.
But you don't have to push it, okay? We have time with this one.
Yeah. I think I have a pretty good feel for them.
Who's watching your kids?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Hates his homeland. Where he comes from. Don't know how you people let a guy like that get out. He should have put a bullet in his head a long time ago.
That's probably what this is about.
Where you guys flying to this week?
You choose.
Paris.
Oh, I'm sick of Paris.
Okay, so they're still at home.
curious to see where they're headed with his character, too. I mean,
Yeah. I almost thought maybe he was kind of done, but clearly not.
The way he's like really worked himself, like the main cast. Is,
Yeah.
We like a lot. Like,
I do too.
Now Stan's buying you lunch?
He's eaten like 100,000 meals over here. I don't think he minds by taking a few slices of leftover pizza.
That's
Right.
fair, yeah.
We're gonna watch the Olympics. You wanna watch with us?
Yeah.
No thanks.
Los Angeles? 84?
I'm not sure.
Quite a reveal there. Are his papers fake?
Yeah, because they got it. Yeah, because they gave him
Yeah.
the suitcase full of them in the last episode. His grandpa did.
That's right.
New York, maybe?
Well, he's probably not flying straight to the U.S. from Moscow. He's probably
Oh, yeah.
flying
I
somewhere
meant,
else.
I meant like
way, right?
when he gets to
Right.
the United States.
He's got to make it look like he's not ever going to the United States. So.
Gotcha.
Куда следуете в Югославии?
В Ljubljana.
There we go. Good casting with this kid, too.
Yeah.
I buy that he's Philip's son.
He's got to work on his poker face.
Yeah, he does. I'd be so nervous.
Yeah.
I just puke over the road. Oh, yeah. This is strange, though, having two families now, basically.
Yeah. It was a cool reveal how they got into the house and
that
showed
was
them
neat,
there.
yeah.
Like, wait, what?
And it's interesting how we went from last episode to them being like, we should get out of here,
Yeah.
to them being like, nah, we're going to crack
we're
it up.
good.
Yeah.
The passengers are unhappy, and planes crash. Well, just like the whole country. Dirty, unhappy, and crashing.
It's actually true.
Not wrong, yeah.
Do you see any lines for food here? No, you go to store, they have so much of everything. It's a beautiful sight. You choose.
We're lucky,
This poor guy's probably talking himself into a grave, though.
for sure.
Or a kidnapping.
What did you do there?
Complain.
I'm a consultant at your Department of Agriculture. And I tell them everything about this broken system in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, they're going to kill this poor guy. Yeah. They have to do something to redeem themselves for me after last season because they're not there yet.
It was a tough hang.
It was. They were. It was like Oleg and Stan were the heroes last
They
season.
really were.
It was tough for Matthew when he started spending more time here. You guys made it a lot easier, so...
Stan has just become so darn likable.
I know. I loved it when he was like, "You're paying for it, Father the Bride."
Yeah.
Hello.
Henry!
Hey.
Come on in!
Hey.
Hey, why don't you guys set the table?
Henry?
Yeah, Henry got big.
Grew like 8 inches.
Cut his hair, yeah. Because we talk about all the time about how we just assume Stan's gonna find out.
Right.
It's gonna break his heart.
You were like family.
When we adopted him, he didn't speak any English. How old is he? He was 10. So it takes time.
They're so unlikable.
Yeah, I know. Just leave this poor family alone.
On other nights, I'll stagger them. I'll do the living room and kitchen an hour before I go to bed. Then your bedroom nights after that.
Great.
Yeah, the way they just like let this kid,
Yeah.
like, yeah, house is yours.
Well, I don't know if he's a kid.
Sure.
I mean, he could be 22
he
years
could be
old.
older,
Yeah,
yeah,
he could be
for
21 Jump Street in it.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at night. I have nightmares. I keep seeing that guy and...
Yeah.
Honey,
Are you... Do you think about it?
No. Shocked. Makes you almost say, what guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, one guy.
don't forget the lights. Vegetables, Stan. They're good for you.
Paige is a great kid, solid, not like some of the others.
There are others.
I just meant kids.
Yeah, come on, man.
He thinks Paige and Matthew is a good thing. But Stan's gonna be heartbroken when it doesn't work out.
No, Philip.
It's gonna get worse with the two of them.
She won't listen to me.
I'll talk to her.
She won't listen to you either. That's not how kids work.
Yeah, she's scared of you.
Well, kids don't listen to their parents say, don't date
I know.
this person.
She's really scared of her mom because
Right.
she knows she can kill people with her bare hands. But yeah, you're right. Kids don't listen to their parents. I said, tale is almost done.
Yeah. So now where do you go from Yugoslavia? It's still an Eastern Bloc country.
Yeah. Did they say if his mom died or not?
I think she did. They caught her, yeah.
When William was caught, I told them to get out, that they should go home.
On your own? Or you had permission from the center?
Yeah.
They're still here.
Nothing scares those two.
Everything scares those two.
Really?
Yeah.
Unless it's some kind of biological weapon, and they're fine with keeping it in the freezer.
Right.
I want to help you with your nightmares.
Training her?
Yeah. Just doing karate in the garage.
Stop! What the hell? First thing, you can't be afraid to be hit, and you can't be afraid to hit, ever.
She had some pretty rough training in Moscow. Maybe that she shouldn't do the same kind of training with Paige.
Water it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, like, just torture her a little.
Hey, Paige, grab that table. We're going to waterboard you a little bit.
Somehow he infected himself with the virus he was carrying, probably so they couldn't interrogate him. They took him to their biocontainment facility at Fort Detrick, and we assume he died there.
It's really gross.
Lassa fever. How bad is it?
It's bad.
This is called Area B. It's in the back of Fort Detrick.
In a blood sample?
Something.
He's got the disease in his body.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. It's impossible task after impossible task.
Right. Yeah, a lot of guys with him. That's a good reveal there.
That was good. Is that Hans there? Yeah. Hans. Booby. It makes sense. I was wondering how the two of them were going to get
You're
married,
right.
so.
So the terrible thing that needed to not happen in the last season is going to happen anyway.
Sorry, William.
Right. Are they digging up his body?
That's really gross.
And dangerous.
Yeah. Kind of surprised they buried him if that's the case.
Right.
Incinerated him or something.
I would think so too, yeah.
I'd want to be in the crowd.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll be way over
I don't
here.
want to smell it. I don't want
Right.
to see it.
Don't want to touch it for sure. So these guys can't be trusted with a vial of this stuff, but they're going to dig up a loose dead body and carry it out.
Great.
Like, that was a body bag, right?
Yeah.
That they unrolled?
I would admit. Yeah, right? Like,
Yeah.
and if somebody does come by, just ditch it, I guess. I mean,
That's what else you do, yeah. 'Cause they did bury him deep, didn't they?
jeez.
Okay, at some point.
Right, there we go. Cool.
It's like, all right, guys.
Yeah. They took their time with that
Yeah,
one.
they did. They took their time with this reveal.
It's a really deep hole. We got it. Unless they're not. I don't know. Is it a grave or are they cutting the power?
Definitely a grave.
I'd puke so hard. Everywhere.
Gotta wonder how long he's been there, but that is not
It
a
looks fresh.
that is not a sanitary way to store a body.
No.
They just sit in there and cook.
It's okay. It's fine.
It doesn't hurt.
Good. You go up, we'll finish here.
This who's staying behind in the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Hans.
Yeah. Sorry, you got very infected right there.
Don't touch him.
You know, when we saw him coming with him, I was like, is this guy going to survive the whole show or something going wrong for him? And man, they didn't take any time.
No, and ceremoniously. Just,
Yeah.
There you go. Hans was crappy too. We saw him do some
For
acting.
sure.
So that's how we ended. Okay, cool. That was very, like, the way they did that last little scene there,
Yeah.
that was, we were like, okay, where are they going with this? No, we're just
Gotta go.
digging.
Yeah.
We're just digging.
Yeah, they definitely took their time on the digging. I was like, all right. it's been like 7 minutes. We can get back to the storytelling at some point.
I wonder if it was just like, well, the script calls for, like, the script ends and like, let's not be long enough.
Yeah, we got
Let's have
we
dig.
got to add some time.
Yeah. Good tension. I mean, I guess.
No, it was. Again, it's a good setup. Again, now that Philip and Elizabeth are now taking part in this venture that should not be happening,
No.
they are still not getting any closer to winning me back at all. We have that storyline,
Period.
plus the poor Russian guy that they're
Full
definitely
stop,
going
yeah.
to kidnap and send back to the Soviet Union or just kill. So right now, I'm not in love with either one of them still. I mean, we have to get there, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like,
They have to be heroic at some point in the next 2 seasons.
everyone says the ending is incredible.
Right.
So I'm like, awesome. Like, we'll whether or not it ends up with them in jail and like a satisfying
Sure.
conclusion for the kids, I don't know.
Yeah, because you never know, right? I mean, how many shows that are great shows do we focus on unlikable protagonists? Like a lot of them.
Most of the shows. I mean,
Breaking Bad,
Mad
Better
Men to an
Call
extent,
Saul, Mad Men to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also
Almost
Succession.
Sopranos right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sopranos. Succession is the show where nobody is going to being liked.
Weird, no stranger.
Yeah, the idea of unlike, but we hope for them that they do, right?
Sure. I mean, but even like the point of Breaking Bad is the point that this good man becomes a villain, right? And this show is just about villains,
which is like, okay, is there a point, like, because they've done noble things, they really have,
and we do like them to a certain extent. We follow them, we empathize with them, but at the same time, right now it's pretty hard to like them.
There's definitely a main character syndrome, though,
sure.
where it's like, well, it's the main character we followed. You like Walter White because he starts off as the empathetic character and the focus of the show, and at some point, it's hard to get it, as an audience member to be like, okay, now I'm not really supposed to be rooting.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Now I'm supposed to be rooting against the guy I was rooting for so long,
and
for sure.
We did an episode of something a while ago. I can't remember what it was. We talked about complicated. I think it was the French Connection video we made when Disney censored it,
right?
And we're talking about how that's what makes 70s movies great, is that we have these complicated protagonists,
sure.
And we're constantly looking for that. I want that in the movie and the TV show. So I'm glad we're getting this. It is really sometimes careful what you ask for, because this is really tough.
Sure.
It's really hard to get behind these characters, and we're just kind of bearing witness to these awful things,
Yeah.
And I like that it presents it plainly.
Right.
How do you feel about this?
Sure. And there's no way that you can't be rooting for them to fail in some of the stuff that they're doing.
Of course.
Some of their acts is like, I really don't want, for the sake of the bigger world of the show, I don't want what they're doing to be successful. On so many things. Sometimes yes, usually no. There's usually decent or well-intended or even androgynous in terms of their morality.
Sure.
People end up paying a price for what they do, and it's like, I just want you to stop.
Can we just?
I know it's not unreasonable. Not reasonable, but I want you to stop. And maybe by the end of the show, they come around, and that's where we are.
And it really when it took off was with the poor family in the last season. That was really the last straw for me. I'm like, man, it was just terrible.
No, it was terrible.
It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not
it wasn't. Oleg and Stan having to work to keep to stop Philip and Elizabeth basically from getting a virus that could potentially kill all of humanity, and now they still get it anyway, which is
what's interesting.
There we go.
If we have any character to root for right now, it's Stan.
It's really Stan. It is,
and I don't know what Oleg is up to in Russia. I wonder what his character is going to go through. But I mean,
yeah, I feel like Oleg's going to be back because I feel like things are not going to go well in the Soviet Union because of the close ties probably between his family and the job that he's on.
Yeah,
where it's like, I just go back to that.
Have we heard anything about his father other than when we saw him talking to Nina, in terms of what he does there?
I don't know what he does, but he's pretty powerful. But I think isn't he in agriculture? They might have said that he was at some point. Which means if he is, he's part of the food line.
Sure. Which
the system.
They introduce a lot of characters. They tell us a lot early on, and so they do a lot of payoffs, right?
Sure.
A lot of things come back around full circle. So this being the last of part one of 2 seasons that's going to finish the show, I'm expecting a lot of payoffs.
Right.
And I want to see where they go with that.
Yeah, I think Oleg's time in the Soviet Union is going to be him figuring out that his dad's part of the reason that people are starving, and it's like, I'm going back to America.
I can't wait.
Right. I will catch you next one, guys.